Hello and welcome. I'm Parul Sharma and you're watching Zoom TV. Today's guests are Aditya Roy Kapur and director Kapil Verma. Hello boys, how are we doing?
First class, how are you?
First class, oh. In an ode to all the guns that are in this room, we're going to start this interview by showing our guns to the camera.
Okay.
Our guns.
Our guns, there you go.
Our guns.
Yeah, nice.
On the topic of your guns, many women are salivating over your guns. Thoughts and comments?
Yeah, this is a beautiful, I mean, I guess it's only a good thing. I hope all of them come and watch the film in the theatres. It's not bad, yeah.
Okay, it's been more than 2 years since your last theatrical release. What are the jitters like? Are there any?
The more one promotes.
Yeah.
Because when you're promoting, you actually end up getting more into the film. You're thinking about the film day and night. You're only talking about it. You're only asking people, "Acha lag raha na?" Yeah. Wo. So you drum yourself up into this slightly manic state. So soon to come.
Soon happening.
Yeah.
How attached are you as an artist to like post-release outcomes in terms of the box office collection and the critical reviews? Like, do you see yourself Googling
Not
and
that
like
much,
checking with the distributors, kitne paise kamaye with the director?
No, I don't. I don't that much. I don't read anything, actually, quite honestly. I don't read anything. I don't read reviews or anything like that. I just, you get to know what the numbers are, and that is important because at the end of the day, it's a film business. So you want the film to do well for everyone involved.
Sure.
So I am definitely very invested into how the film is doing. But other than that, what the chatter is, I don't really end up getting into.
Nothing phases you,
No,
basically.
I mean, it's not that I just don't read it. I just don't read.
Fair enough. That's a good way to be.
It's good not to read, actually.
Yeah, it's a good way to be. Kapil, tell me a little bit about your journey on how you landed on Aditya and Sanjana as the lead pair of a movie in a genre that neither of them have really dabbled in before. He's done a little bit in Malang, but it was not like an out-and-out actioner. What is that journey like? What kind of gave you the conviction to be like, yeah, I'm going to zero in on them and these are my dudes?
See, it's all about the story that we had. And again, that it all started when I've seen the trailer of Malang and I saw him and it clicked me like, no, he is Om.
Yeah.
I need to speak to this guy. And then went to my producers and then they were like, they got convinced by that thing and they were like, chalo, let's meet him. And after we locked Adi, then we wanted somebody to like, for Sanjana, we wanted somebody like a different face, again, a very unexpected thing, for her.
Because her first feature film was like vastly different from what this is, right? So yeah.
So in this film, we always had that, let's get somebody which is like, kuch alag hai, kuch alag kuch karte. We met Sanjana, we saw her and we were like, we're trying to figure out, kar paegi, nahi kar paegi, everything. But when we spoke, she heard the story. And then we had a couple of rehearsals and we were like, that girl is Kavya. And because a lot of people came to me and like, this Aditya Roy Kapur and Sanjana, kuch alag hai. Exactly, kuch alag hai.
Yeah.
Watch that thing.
So you're going for that sort of surprise shock element.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it a no-brainer for you to sort of take this on, or were you like, action, not sure?
No, I've actually been wanting to kind of do some action.
Right.
So for me, it was right up the alley that I was looking at. But again, I think the externals were in place, but the most important thing is the script needed to resonate, because if action just for action's sake, I think makes no difference.
We've seen quite a few of those that
yeah,
work
so
well.
I think what really struck me first was when I heard the story and I felt like it had quite a bit to it.
Sure.
It felt like the screenplay had a lot of twists and turns and it inherently had an emotional core. And anchor. Yeah. So once those things felt like they were in place, I knew that the action, considering Kapil was shooting it and the amount that he's done and Ahmed sir as well, that would have been taken care of.
Sure.
So for me, the main thing was the story, and the story felt like it had it.
I think it's interesting because there would be a lot of trust that goes both ways over here, because you're trusting a debutante director to sort of be the captain of the ship, and you're trusting this person who hasn't really ever done action. It's a huge movie, big headlining it.
That's very true.
Talk a little bit about sort of that equation and that trust that you both would have in each other to do this.
I think it's something that's built over just spending time with each other. Yeah. And I think that's what we did. We ended up spending a lot of time with each other so that I think firstly to come on the same page, so that we knew we are aligned with that we are both on the same page about what story we're trying to tell and how we're trying to tell it and what that would then require of us. Yeah. So I think that is an invaluable thing for an actor and director to be able to have, to just spend time sometimes even not talking about the film. you get to know what those persons, what their driving forces are, what their influences are. And then you talk about different things and you'll align like that. So that's what ended up offset actually building trust. So that by the time we were on the set, we knew like what we're going for.
You guys are bros now, you're homies.
Yeah.
For sure. That's what
Yes.
What about you? Tell me a little.
Same thing. We spent 8 months together, and I have not worked with him before, and we have never worked with each other. And plus, it's an action film. That's something that I've been doing for the past 20 years.
Yeah, I was looking at your film credits as a steady cam. Oh, bhai, bahut sare film credits hai. You've done a lot of like awesome work, honestly. Yeah.
Thank you. So when we met him, it was a thing that it's all about that leap of faith. Kiya kar payega, nahi kar payega. Again, we went into that thing, and I knew that this guy. I always also when I met him, I always asked him one question: ki, yaar, why you didn't get into action? That's always the back of my head.
कि अभी तक किया क्यों नहीं?
कि किया क्यों नहीं तूने?
Which is a surprising question because that's not his vibe or hasn't been till now. So
again, the way I see him, the way my producers saw him,
Sure.
nahi yaar, this guy will do it. So yeah, we met, we spoke about things. He practiced a lot of stuff, 4 months into training.
Yeah.
And within like the first 10-15 days, we knew that he'll do it.
No, but at the end of the day, what you're saying is right, and that leap of faith is what it is,
Sure.
and you don't know till you get on set.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that
And it
little
can
bit of
either
thing
go
was like,
really-
Adi, and that's a beautiful thing as well.
then
right?
it can either go
So-
really well or really badly,
Yeah,
and then you're just
that's what
kind
you
of
signed
stuck.
up for. Yes.
At the trailer launch, Aditya, you had some strong feelings about not getting slotted as like either an action hero or a romantic hero, and you said you didn't want to be stuck doing any one kind of genre, which I mean, looking at your filmography, you've done a lot of like romance and all of that. That's interesting to me now as like a point of view, because we see a lot of actors nowadays. They find their niche, they find like a broad genre of what they're good at, and then they kind of stick to that, right? And why is that important to you as an artist? Like, why do you feel like you really do need to kind of make that switch?
I think it's important to keep doing different things, because otherwise you can just get complacent as an actor and start repeating yourself with tropes that you think work. And I don't want to ever be too sure of myself. I think it's always good to feel like you're reaching beyond what you have before. And I think that's when your best work can happen, because you're not sure as an actor. I think it's good to be confident. It's important to be, but it's also to try and push yourself further than you ever have before. And I think dabbling in different genres and stuff that you haven't done before, by virtue, just does that. Like in this film, the challenge was the action and was kind of creating that persona. In other films, it's different things. So I guess that is the main reason, and that's what keeps you alive and excited to kind of get onto a set and do something you haven't done before.
I think you are. The vibe that I get from you as an actor is like you kind of do put that, like I'm a little bit unsure, but I'm doing my best, and I really want to like just try to like better myself.
I don't think it's about being
Because like
unsure.
you've taken a break before, and like we don't see leading actors right now. Like everyone's kind of just at it, right? Like movie after movie after movie, and you don't see someone at the peak of their career and in their youth sort of taking a break and
No,
sort
it's
of
true.
coming back, So I really want to know like what kind of drives you to do that and gives you the confidence, or I don't know, tell me what it is that gives you the confidence to be like, I'm going to chill out a little bit and come back when I'm okay.
I don't know, I haven't done that deep dive into myself, but I just feel like I haven't been able to say yes to something if I don't feel passionately about
Okay.
it. I find that when I say yes to a film, then that film and that thing becomes my life, and I can't help it. So me saying yes, my most nerve-wracking days when I say yes to something. It's like, because I know that once that yes happens,
Shit up to kar diya.
what I've signed my life off
Yeah.
to that thing.
Yeah.
So I think by that virtue, I ended up saying no to a lot of things, because of like,
Fair.
I don't feel it, and if I don't feel it, I won't do my best. I won't do
Fair
justice
enough.
to it.
Have you said no to a lot of things that you feel like would have slotted you, or like that are repetitive, like scripts and stuff that you kind of rejected or just passed up on?
I don't think about it in that sense when I feel like it's more about the film itself not working. Sometimes
Sure.
it's okay to be repetitive if you're equally excited. You're like, it's another love story, but I love it.
Sure.
I'll
Fair.
do it.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, it's another love story, and now, even though I love it, I won't do it because I'll get slotted. So it's
Yeah.
not that. I think it comes from not having connected with those things, which is why I probably said no. But yes, having said that, taking a couple of years off of work at a young age is not the norm. But I found that I just couldn't help it. I couldn't do it if I didn't want to.
Yeah.
And when I did get on set, after that gap, I found that I was approaching acting differently. I felt I had changed. And it can be good for an actor sometimes to just not Otherwise, we're just thinking about ourselves and the
Yeah.
films, and where you don't get very much time to really grow
Sure.
because you're just on all the time.
Yeah.
So I found when I came back on set, I was approaching acting differently. I was like, I'm feeling different. Maybe it's good.
I mean, which is like, yeah, the best thing to sort of feel and invigorated. Kapil, you are a debutant director in the post-pandemic era, which is like a whole new species of humans altogether at this point, I feel. How, with the unpredictability of, you know, how a movie is going to do, how, whether it'll be panned or it'll be loved, the box office, like how, what is your state of mind in this situation? Do you find yourself like having a little bit of anxiety? Is it impacting you, or are you kind of like him, sailing along for now and
I do have
then
little
we'll see?
anxiety, of course, it's my first film. And there's a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're very confident about what we have made. And our film is almost, it's ready since a couple of months, and you know,
Yeah.
this is the last touches that's happening right now. So yeah, some stress is there, but I think it's fine.
Good stress. You
Good
want
stress.
stress.
It's
Yeah.
a good kind of stress.
Yeah.
How do you combat that kind of stress, though? I do want to know, because the kind of problems that have happened post-pandemic are really unique, right? Like I mean, before this, people would just go to watch a movie, like
Exactly.
just for the fun of it. But now it's like, I will be risking my life to watch this movie. It better be worth it. To some extent. So like, how do you kind of combat all those gamut of problems that sort of, I'm sure, come up?
See, what's happening right now is people are being very selective about the films
Yeah.
they want to watch. And for the past couple of weeks or months, you know, not many films are working.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's always the back of my mind.
Yeah.
Of like, I think most of us in Bollywood right now.
Yeah.
And but end of the day, we make films. It gets released. It's accepted, not accepted. So it's the flow basically. And plus, I've worked for a very long time, so that experience of me like stress. Oh, pata hai, because I come from a family where my father was an action director,
Yeah.
so I've seen all that.
Yeah.
You know, been there. So yeah, it's just like, for me, it's just like do your best and just leave it to the audience.
You're equipped for this. You've got your
Yes.
guns out and
Yeah,
blazing,
yeah,
huh? Aditya, this is a personal question from me to you as an anchor. You kind of started your journey as like a VJ and interviewed celebrities and all of that. I want to know, do you feel like a kinship and empathy with me, people like us, our profession, especially when you're doing like promotions and stuff? A. And then B, do you think that part of your life at all shaped you as an actor or helped you at all in your film journey?
No, absolutely. I feel a kinship because I know exactly what the interviewer is going through, because I was in that chair for a good 4.5 years. And definitely my empathy and sympathy for all the situations that you're in. But I think it definitely did help me as an actor, because as a VJ, one was required to do all kinds of random stuff.
Yeah.
We were just out with the camera every day and just day in and day out doing there was not just interviews, there were
Yeah.
music shows to teleprompter and live events and all the rest of it. I think what it did was it made me comfortable with the camera.
Right.
And comfortable kind of making an ass of myself in front of camera and just being
That's the best, right?
weird, you know. So if you can really do that,
Yeah.
that's a big hurdle that's gone from in front of you. So I just think being wacky and goofy in front of camera day in and day out helped me to not really think much about it.
Be more comfy.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's a shout out to.
All the
That's right.
out there.
Finish it. Finish the sentence.
All
Give
the
us
who
the
are out
shout out. We only. Hi.
Yeah.
And lastly, Sanjana wanted me to ask you guys, how much are you missing her during the promotions?
A lot.
A lot, yeah.
Sweet little shout out, come. Little needy girl is asking for some love.
Yeah, the shout out is going to be a shout. Come back.
Come
quickly,
back, yeah.
Sanjana, where are you? This is not some
You're
shout out
supposed
of
to be
love.
here.
Yeah, it's wrong. Get on a flight now.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure and good luck for everything ahead. Hope to meet you guys soon and do this again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
रोज सुबह 8 से 12 बजे Zoom देखो प्राइस जीतो